Stop. Don't scroll. You love looking at the moon, don't you? It's always there, silent, beautiful, watching over our world. But have you ever wondered, who's looking back at you? Who is that light in the endless dark? Well, in the world of Greek mythology, when the sun finally dipped below the horizon and the world fell into a hush, another power would rise into the silent night sky. Her name was Selene. Unlike the fiery, scorching sun, her light didn't burn. It was a gentle, silver glow that seemed to pull you in, to quiet the noise in your mind. It calmed you. It felt like it was calling your name, a soft whisper across the miles. She was, in every sense, the moon given human form. The ancient Greeks didn't just see a rock in the sky, they saw a goddess. So who was she? Where did this radiant being come from? Selene was a Titan, one of the old gods, born from divine and powerful lineage. Her father was Hyperion, the Titan god of heavenly light, and her mother was Theia, the Titaness of sight and the shimmering blue sky. She had two equally brilliant siblings. Her brother Helios was the god of the sun. Every morning he would burst forth in his golden chariot, bringing warmth and life to the world. Her sister Eos was the goddess of the dawn, painting the sky with strokes of pink and gold. And Selene, she carried the night. While Helios and his fiery steeds rested, her work began. Every single evening, without fail, she would climb into her magnificent moon chariot, a stunning vehicle drawn by two silent, graceful white horses. Imagine the sight, hair as long and dark as the night itself, flowing behind her like a silken river. Skin that didn't just reflect light, but seemed to glow from within, like cool, ethereal moonlight. And upon her head, a crown that was the very symbol of her power, a shining, perfect crescent moon. As she guided her chariot across the vast, dark canvas of the sky, she brought comfort to the world below, a guiding light for travelers and a silent companion for lovers and lonely souls. But Selene wasn't just a distant, cold light in the sky. She was a being of deep passion, of profound emotion. She was, above all, a goddess of love. And her story is one of the most beautiful and heartbreaking tales in all of mythology. It all began one night as she was making her journey across the heavens. Her gaze fell upon the earth, specifically upon a place called Mount Latmos. And there, sleeping peacefully among his flock, was a young shepherd. His name was Endymion. The stories say he was impossibly beautiful. So beautiful, in fact, that even a goddess, a Titan who had seen the dawn of time, was stopped in her tracks. The moment Selene laid her eyes on the sleeping Endymion, her immortal heart, which had beat for millennia, went quiet. It was a feeling she had never known. A deep, overwhelming, and instant love. From that night on, her nightly journey was no longer just a duty. It became a pilgrimage. She would guide her chariot to Mount Latmos, descend from the sky, and quietly watch him as he slept, her heart aching with a love she couldn't express. But as anyone who knows Greek mythology can tell you, the love of the gods is never simple. It's often tangled with tragedy, power, and cruel twists of fate. Selene was a goddess, immortal, unchanging. Endymion was a mortal man. He would age, his beauty would fade, and one day he would die. The thought was unbearable to her. To love him was to know she would lose him. Desperate to preserve the perfect image of her beloved, she did the only thing she could think of. She went to the king of the gods himself, the mighty Zeus, who sat upon his throne on Mount Olympus. She begged him, pleaded with all the passion in her divine heart. "Let him stay young," she implored. "Let him remain just as he is now, untouched by time, forever beautiful." And Zeus, perhaps moved by her plea, or perhaps just being his usual capricious self, granted her wish. But as is so often the case with the gods, nothing they give comes without a price, a terrible, hidden cost. Zeus granted Endymion eternal youth, just as Selene had asked. Yes, but he would have it in a state of eternal sleep. He would never age, never wither, never die. But he would also never wake up. He would be trapped forever in a dream, a beautiful, ageless statue. And so Selene's wish became her curse. Her love was preserved, but at what cost? She had her immortal beloved, but she could never share a word with him, never feel his embrace, never see him open his eyes and look back at her. Every single night, she would complete her journey across the sky and then descend to that quiet mountainside on Latmos. She would lie down beside her sleeping beloved, her cool, silvery light blanketing him. She would whisper all the things in her heart to him, confessions of love that he would never hear. And then, just before her sister Eos brought the dawn, she would have to leave him, returning to her celestial home with a heavy heart to wait for the next night when she could see him again. It poses a question that echoes through the ages. Was this immortal love? Or was it just endless, soul-crushing loneliness? To be so close to the one you love more than anything, yet to be separated by an impassable barrier. To watch over them forever, but to be forever alone. Her story is a poignant reminder that even for the gods, love can be a source of both ultimate joy and infinite sorrow. But the story doesn't end there. The myth lives on. Some say that this is why the moon changes its phases. When the moon is just a thin sliver, a crescent like her crown, it's because Selene's sorrow is at its greatest, and she can barely bring herself to shine. But when the moon is full, a perfect, brilliant circle that floods the night with light, it's because she is at her happiest. It's on those nights that she feels closest to Endymion, when her love for him burns so brightly that it spills out across the entire sky, pushing back the darkness. Think about it. Why is the night sky sometimes so incredibly bright, so full of a soft, magical light that you can see almost as clearly as in the day? The ancient Greeks would tell you it's not just reflected sunlight. It's because Selene and Endymion's love story is still continuing, night after night, up there in the cosmos. Her light is the physical manifestation of her unending devotion. So, the next time there's a full moon, don't just glance at it. Go outside. Stop what you're doing, lift your head, and look closely. See that bright silver glow. And remember the story of the goddess who loved a mortal so much she bound him to an eternal dream. Think of her nightly vigil, her whispered words of love into the silent air. And maybe, just maybe, as you're watching her, you'll feel it. That gentle pull, that sense of peace. Because maybe Selene, the lonely goddess of the moon, is watching you too. Thank you for listening. If you love stories like this, make sure to subscribe and join us for more journeys into myth and legend.